Let's go. Let's try to make this quick. Starting the day, I was kinda bearish when we inversed this 15 minutes, which also inversed the 1 hour, and the 4 hour was kinda displaced around here, which eventually got respected, but at the time I saw that the 15 minutes got inversed, the 1 hour got inversed, so I was kinda bearish to this low, but then we left right here. Today we had CPI and we left data highs. Now when we leave data highs, we wait for the data lows to be swept, which happened here, and then we go for data highs if we get some momentum to them, because we dropped 300 points, which makes us a lot really far from the data highs. So when this happens, there's a chance that if we don't get the right momentum to the data highs, we can't really target the data highs, because we're probably just gonna keep dumping to another place. And I was kind of bearish, but I didn't have a really good bias because we have been bullish all this time, and I stayed without a bias. I was waiting for conditions and for structure, which means that I was waiting for FPGs to be respected or disrespected. Now, I'll show you this one. Okay. When we drop 300 points, we don't just long the first IFPG that we just seen. But I came to my computer and I saw this FPG and I said, not really. But someone said it was decent and they were going to take it, and my brain just turned off and I target here, which is there isn't even a target, and this eventually got stopped out right here. This wasn't a good trade, not something to be remembered, always something to be remembered, not something to be repeated. We always wait for structure, which is something that happened right here. When we get this dump and we are still bullish, or I was not bullish, but we had the highs, and I had the condition that, okay, we failed this 1 minute, we are probably bearish. But then we made a manipulation leg, which is the thing that we want to see when we dump these lots. We don't want to take the first setup we see. We want to wait for structure, and that's exactly what happened here. We had a manipulation leg, and then we had this 3 minutes that isn't a singular FRL gap, but it's really decent. Why? Because here we have an order block, and here we have another order block that closed at the same time as the entry. So order block plus order block makes a propulsion block that it is a high probability to go even higher. Now, the mechanical, if I go on the 1 minute, the mechanical break even, because when we hit the first internal high, that this is the first internal high, the intermediate term high, I make myself to break even, because when we come back to break even, there's a high probability that I'm gonna lose a trade, so I go to break even so I don't lose, and it's better for my mentality. Now, I went to break even, and the trade went to break even for me, and I didn't win, I didn't lose. It was a break even trade for me. Now, something that I didn't see was this high inside this tiny fair value gap. Here, this is a really high probability to hit. So the break even shouldn't be here. The break even should be here. Now, if y'all can see, I got stopped right here on this one, because we went to my break even, it was here, and then I got stopped. My entry was somewhere, I don't even remember. I think my trade was something. I think I went on right here. This will be the stop below, and this will be the TP. Now I went one contract in this, and as you guys can see, I got stop loss at break even. Now this should be my break even, but we also swept this supposed break even and went down. So this trade would have been a break even for me anyways. But the thing that I didn't see at the time was that we respected this breaker block. It's not really a breaker block, but we respected this inverse fair value gap. We respected this order block right here. We respected this order block. And if we go on the 3 minutes, we made another obvious order block. Now, here, I should have put another entry right here with my stop below this order block and my TP right here, which will make me go for a 1 hour. Now, this isn't my model, but I would take it if I saw it. But I was journaling my trades because when I win, break even, lose, I journal it and I stopped thinking about this setup. And I didn't saw any more fair value gaps. I heard someone saying that this would be another entry, and they were taking it, but I was only thinking about inverse fair value gaps. I didn't saw any inverse fair value gap around here, so I didn't saw any setup, so I didn't take any more trades right here. But now in hindsight, yes, I would have taken this trade if I saw it, because there's another block, and right here this is another order block, so this is a really high probability propulsion block. But yeah, that's it. So I'm with at the moment I lost one, which means that I only have one more trade for the day. So right here we go up, and as we start to go up, we see that we just go straight up, which means that this is low resistance liquidity to the upside, which means that we probably gonna run these data highs. And now we can look for a setup that is probably go to the data highs. So what I was seeing at the time was that we hit the 50%. So now we should come a little bit lower, which we have. We came lower, we rebalanced to this equilibrium. We came lower and we rebalanced to this equilibrium. So we came below the 50%. Then we left this 5-minute gap, and we also left the 3 minutes. They were both obvious. I waited for the first one to be inversed. It was the 5 minutes. So here I'm just waiting for a good momentum to the upside, because we swept. We have a manipulation leg below here. We don't have SMT in the highs right here. We have data highs up, and we have low resistance liquidity to the upside, because we are just pumping up. Now we come down, we go to the 50%, we invert this with momentum right here. I'm on this trade without any doubt, with only one contract. And now there's a risk management right here, and I'm gonna talk about another trade that I should have been in, but I didn't have all the confluences for it. But it's something to learn to the future. Right here, there isn't really somewhere to target upsides from the data highs. Now, if I had more than one contract, I would probably scale some when I saw that the PA started being good, and I would left the runner to the data highs with the stop to break even. What happened here was that if we go in the 1 minute, we came up and I was already up 66 points. Then we came down and I saw, okay, here we swept, and now I'm seeing this on the side, because at the time I was so stressed. Because I wasn't really stressed, but I was a little emotional because this trade was winning. And the thing here is, we came up, we came down, we came up again, and the thing that I saw in the moment was this. Here, this is the low, this is a high, this is a 50% right here. We are supposed to rebalance it's good for the market to rebalance to equilibrium because the market is hunting this liquidity. We do not need to generate liquidity. We do not need to target imbalances. We can, and we did, but right here we are so up. This move was so high that it's healthy to the market to rebalance to this equilibrium, which the market did. So when I noticed that we were supposed to rebalance to equilibrium, and I stopped seeing the market go up, which is something that doesn't happen. The market doesn't just go up all the way unless we have some big news like CPI. I saw, okay, I'm getting emotional. The market is supposed to rebalance to equilibrium. If the market rebalances to equilibrium, I will be stopped out at my break even, so it's time to get out. And I got out. I asked someone, it's what I asked people their opinion. They said if I was emotional, it was better to me to got her out. I waited for it to get a little bit higher. It got, I got off at 67, 64 points with just only one contract, which made me green for the day. Not a lot, but a good amount. So it's Wednesday and I'm break even ish for the week, and that's okay. We are probably still go to the data highs if I didn't use my break even method, which is something that here is beautiful. Imagine that I had a runner to go to data highs and I had break even here. I would have placed my break even and I could have gone out to my day because we are on the 5 minute chart. If we go from my entry to the moment right now, and I was still in the charts waiting for this to go to data highs, it's already been past 4 hours and 20 minutes. You imagine that I stayed here till we either hit my stop loss, that if I didn't have a break even will be the close below this fair value gap, this inverse fair value gap, or to the market to hit data highs. I can't. I would need to put an hard stop that would be probably around this low, which made make this probably a win, but that's not my model, that's not how I trade, and that's more than okay. Now, I want to talk about a trade that I didn't take. I saw it, but I didn't have a lot of faith on it. Now, right here, as I said, we rebalanced, sorry, we rebalanced to equilibrium as we should. Sorry, we rebalanced to equilibrium as we should. We tapped the 50% to came a little bit down, and right here we have an inverse. We we have a fair value gap, and on the 1 minute that someone talked about, but I didn't enter it because it was the first one. But this one is really good. This one is A plus. We tapped the 50%. We came a lot down. We have a singular fair value gap. It's not really the most obvious fair value gap. They need to be, it's good for them to be obvious to make it even higher probability, but we we have good momentum. We've put on an order block, and for here, sorry, we've put on an order block. We swept this liquidity, which is a manipulation leg, and we broke this with the order block and with really good momentum. So this will be a decent trade. So this will be something like this. This to me will still need to be just one contract that I will take out everything right here. If I had more than one contract, I will take probably, if I have 3 contracts, I'll take one here, one at this high, and the other one at the data highs. But my size at the moment is just one contract for anything that is more than 55 contracts, more than 55 points, and that's it for the day. Thank you. It was a decent day with really good PA. See you tomorrow.